right, welcome back to Portugal. We're going to fill in the time with a little bit of doubles because, unfortunately, all the good matches are not in the singles are not happening until for a couple of hours. So let's fill in some time. We're watching Eala again. Maybe the most popular player in the world right now, or one of the most exciting prospects right now on the WTA. We just watched Mirra Andreeva, who is also a very exciting prospect. But we're watching her play some doubles. And she's taken on Volynets, or she's playing with Volynets, who she actually beat in that Miami run. As Volynets hits it in the net and it's 30-all. And they're taking on Corley and Rosca, who are actually a seeded team. So Eala and Volynets, number 1, 2 seeds in the singles, are not seeded in the doubles. They're unseeded. So let's see how this looks. Now, doubles is really hard to talk about, so we'll see what happens. But let me just get some stats up, because I think the new layout might actually be better for doing the stats. There we go. Cool. All right, 30-all here in the first game of the match. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. As it goes to 40-30 to the Americans. So there's 3 Americans and Eala on court at the moment. So there's the American team and then there's the singles team. 40-30. As Corley serves. A fault. Second serve. Has Cam ever watched doubles at a 125 before? We've never watched a 125 before. Actually, no, it's a lie. We've watched a couple of 125s. And she double faults Corley, and it's deuce, but it's sudden death. But no, we barely watch doubles. But like I said, there's nothing else on. I mean, Runa's playing, but he's already played a set. So I don't want to start that match. I wanted to start on time. Shelton would have started, but he's not starting for another 30 minutes. Zverev starts in a couple of hours, which I would have loved to watch Zverev, but again, it's the only thing that's lined up. If that other match hadn't finished, we wouldn't be watching this. As we got a volley now, winner from Rosca, I'll get it right, and the American team win the first game. And it's 1-love. By the way, Eala will be playing tomorrow against Udvardi. And I did do a little research because it would be irresponsible of me not to do it. But Udvardi is could be a very interesting opponent for Eala. Another good doubles player good clay court player. So yeah, we'll watch that tomorrow, see how Eala's clay court game evolves. I'm pretty sure she's playing Udvardi, unless Udvardi lost. She was winning when I last saw. Udvardi was winning pretty easily. Or did Udvardi lose? I can't tell. Chat, does anyone know? Or they're still playing? All right, first point goes to Corley Rosca. Love 15. Volynets was the nicest person on What the Vlog. Yeah, she was on that, wasn't she, a couple of episodes ago? All right, forehand from Volynets into the forehand of Rosca. Backhand now from Volynets as Eala hits a backhand down the line, and that's too strong. Nice rally from the top seeds of the singles. 15-all. All right, so they must have... been... Udvardi must have won. Or maybe, I don't know. Where is it? I can't even see it. Why can't I see it? Oh my god, it's ruining it. Everything's broken. Can't check. I don't know. Chat, does anyone know? Can somebody help me? Anyways, 30-15. Can somebody help with score check? Does anyone know? Oh, here we go. Yeah, Udvardy won. So Udvardy will take on... Thanks, Gene. Udvardy will take on Eala tomorrow in the singles. And Volynets won yesterday in the singles as well. 40-15. 40-15. Volynets was featured at last year's Miami and Berlin. Yeah. As we serve into the forehand of Corley. Forehand from Volynets to forehand of Corley. As Volynets forehand down the line goes wide, and it's 40-30. If Eala wins in Portugal, she will have 1,000 points. Yeah. You're amazing covering doubles. Yay. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that we could tune into the doubles. It wasn't on the schedule, but because of the last match being cancelled, or at least the last match being half played, we had time. Return goes to the forehand of Volynets. Oh wow! Did that hit Eala in the head? Damn! Corley went for the headshot. I think it might have hit Eala in the shoulder. That was brutal. Oof. Doubles is a dangerous game, chat. She said sorry. They obviously said sorry to each other. Well, that was Corley went for the headshot. That's it didn't hurt. It must have hit her in the shoulder because she didn't really react to it. Unless Eala's just a physical beast and it did hit her in the face and she's like, whatever. Anyways, Volynets hits the winner and it's 1-1. That was brutal. Doubles is dangerous, chat. The crowd was singing happy birthday to Conchita Martinez. Oh, that's nice. All right. Back to the All-American team. Rosca's going to serve to Eala. As we serve now the forehand of Eala. Forehand now from Rosca goes up over Volynets' head. Eala gets it. Volley from Corley is good. But Eala hits a forehand down the line. Good shot. Volley from Volynets goes in. Then she has to put up a lob. Corley wins the point, though, for her team, and it's 15-love. 15-love. Tsitsipas playing quarter. Also a good match in Barcelona today. Yeah. Erika Andreeva retired because of her knee. She had a bad knee, unfortunately. She came in with a knee injury, so it wasn't something she got from the match. She came in with the injury. All right, serve again. Into the forehand of Volynets. Return goes the forehand of Rosca, and then Eala hits a volley in the net. It's 30-love. Fokina Rublev could be match of the day. Is that on today or is that on tomorrow? I didn't think I saw that on the card today. I thought it was tomorrow. Yeah, that's not today. That's tomorrow. Alcaraz, Jera, Fokina Rublev are tomorrow, which we will watch. Also, Navarro, Ostapenko. Wait, is Sabalenka playing? No, Sabalenka's not playing tomorrow. Quarterfinals are on the weekend. Unless they... Nah. Erika Andreeva had a knee injury. That's why she had to retire. 30-15. 30-15. As we just serve again. Into the forehand of Volynets, but it's called a let. Sabalenka should play doubles to get some match play. Yeah, maybe. Might not be the worst idea. As the return goes in from Volynets, and then Eala puts away the easy volley smash. Winner, 30-all. 30-all. 30 all. She serves out wide the backhand of Eala, but it's a let from Rosca. Serve again. As Eala hits it down the line, but it comes back from Rosca. And then Eala puts a forehand in the net, 40-30. 40-30. As with a serve again from Rosca to give her team the lead. As a return now goes in the backhand of Volynets. The forehand from Rosca, the forehand of Volynets. Volynets is wide. And Rosca Corley take the lead, 2-1. 2-1. All right. How we doing, chat? Sabalenka plays Mertens or Schneider. She will be okay without a match play, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, she does kind of own Mertens a little bit. Schneider would be interesting, though. If Schneider wins easily against Mertens, Schneider versus Sabalenka would be fun. We haven't watched Schneider this year, and it's been annoying because I wanted to watch her because I thought she was really going to take it to the next level, but unfortunately she just hasn't done it. So I'd love to see Schneider versus Sabalenka's quarterfinal. That'd be fun. We finally can watch Schneider again. What happened with the Mirra match? Her sister had a knee injury and had to retire. That's what happened. All right, 2-1. Eala to serve. Serve to the backhand of Corley. Backhand up from Eala to the volley of Rosca. Eala comes to the net. Corley with a pass in the net. 15 love. 15 love. Schneider picked up the other Safin. Yeah, she's working with Safina. Dinara Safina back into tennis. We know how we talk about her a lot. Unfortunately, we talk about her when we're talking about the more negative side of tennis. You know, best player never to win a slam. She's probably top 3. But Dinara Safina back in the game that's good. The Safins are back. Marat with Rublev and Safina with Schneider. All right, 30-15. Eala to serve. Yeah, Dinara Safina, she was denied by Serena. And I think the other 2 Grand Slams she should have won one of the 3 she made. But she was a beast. She was scary. She was like, if you don't remember who Dinara Safina is, she was kind of like if Sabalenka had like Sabalenka, but except Sabalenka with Raducanu's vibe, like just stone cold, but like intense, but like quiet, like intense, like didn't shout and scream. Just she was like, yeah, like with her, with like it felt like with Raducanu's attitude kind of thing. 2-0, by the way. She was, and if she wasn't in the Serena era, maybe she would have got one. She was scary. 2-0. As we return now from Eala, but it's a let from Corley. Corley serves in the forehand of Eala. Eala hits a return winner.
This is going to be on tennis TV.
Love 15. She was aggressive and ruthless, yeah. Love Petrova and Safina, yeah. The Russians in the early 2000s, I mean, we all talk about Sharapova, but there was a lot of them. There was a lot of good Russians in 2000s. Russia and America in the 2000s on the WTA was a thing. Forehand to the backhand of Volynets. Corley with a smash, but it's not hard enough, and she comes in with another volley. Eala volleys it, but leaves the court open. Corley puts it away, 15-0. Yeah, Dementieva, Meskina. Who else was there? Petrova. Who else was there? 15-0. Vidasova, was she Russian? Or Czech? Was Vidasova Russian? Vesnina, yeah. Kuznetsova. Oh, how can we forget? Kuznetsova was a beast. Zvonareva. Kornikova was like 90s. So this was like post-Kornikova. Anyways, backhand goes into the forehand of Eala. Forehand now from Corley. Off the tape, goes in. Volynets gets it back. As Corley goes down the middle, and Eala can't volley it back. 30-15. She was checked. Sorry, my bad. Because I know she was like supposed to be one of the best players coming through as well. Has Volynets hit any volleys in the net yet? God damn it. 30-15. Why is that joke funny? 30-15. As the return's a winner from Volynets. It went over the net.
This is going to be on tennis TV, bro.
All right. 30-0. Corley Rosca into trouble. Corley's going to serve to Eala. Wish Safina had won a slam. Ivanovic deserved more. Okay. You deleted your message, so I can't read it. 30-0. And now the class can't read it. Now people watching the replay are thinking that I'm talking to myself. Anyways, Eala with the return there, 40-30. Petrova was one of the best tennis players. Yeah, she was around the... She seemed to always be in the top 10 during the 2000s too, but she never really went on to become a finalist of a slam or anything, but she was always around. I remember Petrova was always like top 5, top 10 in that 2000s. By the way, tomorrow the Munich schedules come out, and we are not going to be watching it because there's not any good matches really. Tomorrow Munich's kind of mid. Oh, by the way, does Munich get the... So in Munich, there's no tennis on Friday in Munich? Because it's in Germany, right? And Germany don't do sports on Friday, right? 40-30. As Corley serves to get the lead back. Volynets returns into the backhand of Corley, and Eala puts it in the net on the backhand volley, and it's Corley Rosca leading 3-2. Baez breaks back. Runa is pissed. Yeah. Munich is a farmer's event. What? Dart totally embarrassed herself. Geez. Yeah, well, she apologized and, said it wasn't her best moment. So fair enough. Who wins this match, chat? Yeah, chat, who wins this match? 3-2 to the Team America, the 4th seeds. Just to give you some context, because why not? So the Carmen Corley is a 23-year-old from America. She went to college in Oklahoma. Her highest singles ranking is 881 in the world, so she's not singles player. But her best ranking in doubles actually at the start of the year. She was 106 in the world in doubles, so clearly focusing on that a little bit more. She has won a WTA title was it a WTA? Where? Why can't I see it? She apparently won a WTA title. Oh no, 125. Sorry, she's already won a 125 in doubles in her career. but it won't show me where, so that's really fun. So that's not great. Also, apparently, Corley has a sister that she's paired up with before. The Corley sisters were given a wildcard to the 2024 US Open in the doubles. So Corley and her sister Carmen and her sister Ivana played doubles together in the US Open last year. Lost in the second round. They won their first match against Alexandra Eala and Blinkova. So there you go. So she's getting into the doubles. Most of the titles that she's won in the ITF circuit or the WTA lower ranks has been with her sister. She's won a few titles with her sister, but now she's pairing up this week with Rosca. And Christina Rosca is 27 years old. She has been as high ranked as 499 in the world in singles, but again, doubles is sort of where she's at. She's won currently 232 in the world in doubles, highest ranked at 162 in the world in doubles, but she has 12 ITF tournament events to her name. And I can't confirm, but this might be one of the first times these two have paired up together. But they are the number 4 seeds, so that is interesting. Also went to Vanderbilt University, if that means anything to anybody. Most of the time she's played in her career with Anna Rodgers and another American. So she's won most of her titles with Anna Rodgers. So there you go. There's your history lesson for the day, chat. And remember that because it's going to be on test at the end of the semester. 30-15 as Volynets serves into the forehand of Rosca. Back in her Volynets into the forehand of Corley, and Corley puts it away. 30-0. Can you explain to me why Eala is the top seed? So the reason why Eala is the top seed in the singles is because she is the highest ranked player in the draw. So she's the highest ranked player in the draw at number 72, I think, was the start of the week. And that means that she is the number 1 seed. Volynets is the second highest ranked player, which makes her number 2 seed. And she's around like 75 in the world or something. So that's why she's the number 1 seed, because she is the number 1 player in the draw. That is what the seeding comes down to. And chat, let me just fix this up a little bit. All right. Break point here, 30-40 to the Americans. As we just serve now the forehand of Rosca. Return goes in, it goes long, and we get the deuce. Vanderbilt also good at baseball, apparently. There you go. All right. We get the deuce, but it's sudden death. No breaks to serve yet, but a few break points, though. As Volynets serves into the forehand of Corley. Back into Volynets. Goes wide. There's the break. 4-2 to Corley and Rosca. They take the break. How much is the prize here? In the singles or the doubles? I'm not sure what can I see prize money for singles? I don't know. Usually it's probably, I'm going to guess like maybe $100,000 for the winner of a tournament like this. In the doubles, I don't know, but in the singles, I'm guessing it would be about 100K. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so 2 years ago, it was $100,000 for the winner. So I would think that it would be that. 100K? Seems about right. But it does vary from tournament to tournament. But I would say... Oh, here we go. So yeah, prize money... So you get 125 points for the rankings in singles and doubles. So if you win the doubles, you also get that. And the tournament offers total prize money of 125 to 162. And that's total prize money. So that will be split up between everybody. So yeah, so I'm not sure. So it might be maybe 100? Maybe 100,000 for the winner. I don't know. But it's more about the points. That's what this tournament in singles is for. Anyways, love 30. Eala returns it. And it's too good. Rosca went flying into the side cage, which is really interesting to watch a tournament like this be played on a court. Like watching the tour, this is what makes it interesting watching this tournament, is that they're playing on like a local tennis club court. I could go down the road and play on a court very similar to this. Obviously not as good standard, but or good quality, but we got cages like that to divide the courts, and you can, if you serve wide enough, you can run people into them. Anyways, love 40. As Volynets returns a winner down the line. That's too easy. We're back on serve. 4-3. All right. 4-3. We're back on serve. Oh, it's only 25K for the winner, is it? Okay. There you go. What happened to Eala versus Eala? Eala won. Sorry, not Eala. Andreeva won. Eala won the Andreeva match. It's crazy. Who would have thought? I was reading the wrong chat. What happened to Andreeva versus Andreeva? Erica had to retire with a knee injury. That's what happened. That's what happened. All right, 4-3. Corley Rosca had the break. Gave it back. And some of you might be coming in here going, Cam, why are you watching a doubles event? What's going on? Well, we have 3 hours until the match I want to watch is coming on, which is Swiatek. And there's no other matches besides the Runa match, which already started by the time we'd finished the last stream. So I didn't want to jump on and watch Runa halfway through the match because I hate doing that. It's so annoying. So it's just not what I want to do. And this match started exactly when we finished the other. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let's just hang out and do this. It was either this, or we had to wait until the Shelton match, which hasn't even started yet. Or we could have watched Irani versus Frey. So I chose this one to fill in the time until we watch Swiatek in a couple hours. 30 love. And people are asking about Eala doubles, so here we are. 30 love. And it is interesting because Eala and Volynets are the number 1 and 2 seeds in this tournament. And it's very rare that the two best players in the singles playing doubles together. Like, that's a weird, strange thing. Plus, Volynets and Eala did play first round in Miami. And Eala beat Volynets in the first round and then went on that run. We all forget about Volynets' first round because we go Ostapenko second round, Keys, Swiatek, you know. So, Volynets actually, these two are played in the Miami tournament. Lovely volley from Corley at the net. And it's 30-all. So that is why. No double. There's no advantage in doubles. And they also play a 10-point tiebreak in instead of a third set. All right, 30-all. Into the backhand return from Corley. To the backhand of Eala. Forehand from Corley. Into the backhand of Eala. Volley from Rosca's good. And Volynets hits a volley in the net. 30-40. Break point for Cromley and Rosca. 30-40. As Eala serves. Into the forehand of Rosca. Forehand from Eala is a lob. Rosca's going to hit a forehand. Again to the forehand of Eala. Now Rosca with the backhand on the stretch. Eala backhand into the volley of Cromley. That's a good... Corley, sorry. That's a good shot. And then the lob from Rosca goes long. Nice rally from Eala. And we get the deuce. Sudden death. Pun was intended. Pun was 100% intended. All right, deuce. Sudden death. Sudden death. I kind of wish they had sudden death in singles. I feel like it'll be fun. It's just fun. Sudden death. It's very intense. Anyways, volley from Volynets is good. Slice goes in for Corley. Volley from Eala is good. Volynets volleys it again. But then the second volley from Volynets goes wide. That's really hard to say quick. 5-3 Corley and Rosca. They lead. I tell you this, chat. I don't think we've ever watched a boring doubles match. We've watched like 7 doubles matches. It's just so hard to get bored watching doubles because it's so intense. Bang, 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 bang. And it's just like, oh shit, we're ready. It's never boring watching doubles. It's always just so much going on at the same time. I know this match does not affect Eala's singles ranking, no. Win or lose, nothing changes with Eala's singles. So even if Eala wins this doubles match, she'll still, like, her singles ranking doesn't change. There's 2 different rankings. There's singles and doubles. And every time you win doubles matches, your ranking changes over here. And then on the singles, it's over here. So they're two totally different situations. All right, backhand lob by Eala to the smash of Rosca, and she smashes it straight at Volynets. And it's 15 love. So yeah, so whatever you do in doubles does not do anything for your singles, right? All right, 15 love as Corley serves to Volynets. Serve is a let. As Corley serves again. As a return from Volynets goes in the forehand to Corley. Volynets forehand to the back of the Corley. Sliced in the net. It's 15-all. All right. All right. 30-all. How you going, Stephen? What's going on? Has been ace from Corley. 30-15. Fet will not become popular if she beats Swiatek because Croatia is not Philippines. What? Okay. 30-15. As a return goes... Nope, that's a let from Corley. Don't understand why people want to root for a Philippines player. Because they're from the Philippines? I feel like it's not rocket science, guys. I feel like it's not that deep. 30-15. As Corley serves, they're going to replay the point. As we get a fault this time. Second serve. 30-15. Corley serves again. Into the forehand volley nets, but that one's a double fault. 30-all.
Myself in there.
Oh, Runa won the second set 6-1. Nice. All right. 30-all. As we just serve again from Corley. Into the back of Eala. Volley is too good from Rosca, but it's a fault, so it didn't matter. Second serve. Serve. Into the back of Eala. Four now from Corley. Goes the forehand of Eala. It's Corley forehand again at the forehand of Eala. And Eala goes down the line, but it's wide. Set point for the Americans. 40-30. Set point. Corley Rosca. Number 4 seeds taking on the number 1 and 2 singles players in the draw. As the return goes in, the volley, Rosca. 4-1 from Eala is good. No, it goes out by Eala. My bad. Or does it? Hang on. Eala's saying it's in. The umpire's going to check. And the umpire confirms it's out. All right. Corley, Rosca get the first set. 6-3. So let's break down why is Eala so popular all of a sudden, it seems. Well, one thing is because she's from a country that have a lot of people, right? There's a lot of people in the Philippines. There's like 100 million people in the Philippines, right? That's one reason. She's got a lot of fans because she's the only player in tennis that is representing the Filipino flag. So she's got a lot of fans instantly. Whereas when there's the Americans, that are playing, or the Russian players, there's a lot more people in America, but there's a lot more players to choose, right? So there's a lot more players you can be. I'm a Gauff fan, I'm a Pegula fan, I'm a Navarro fan, I'm a fan of Collins, right? So there's a lot more people that you can choose as an American, but also there's a lot more sports you can choose, right? So there might be 300 million people in America, but there's a lot more people and a lot more sports you can choose. You can choose an NFL team, you can choose an NBA team, then that's your thing, right? You can choose a boxer, you can choose an MMA fighter, you can choose a tennis player, right? A golfer. There's so many other athletes to choose from. Whereas in the Philippines, I'm not sure if there's like I know NBA is pretty massive there, but I don't know if there's like basketball stars from the Philippines that are playing NBA, or if there's Filipino golfers, or if there's Filipino rugby players or fighters, right? So there's probably not as many athletes representing the Philippines on the world stage, right? Which is why Eala on the biggest stage, beating it, and not just the biggest stage and just playing on the biggest stage, she's beating the best players on the biggest stage, right? Which helps, again, her popularity and gives people a reason to root for her. So those are the reasons why it seems like overnight she's just become this super popular player. But if you break it down like that, you kind of get why she's got so much popularity, because she's probably, and I don't know much about Filipino athletes and Philippines sporting culture, but I would guess she's probably top 3 best athletes in the world at the moment from the Philippines. I would guess. I don't know if there's like a world champion kickboxer or something like that, but I would guess that she's probably top 3 biggest athletes in the world, most successful athletes in the world right now, right? And she's only 70 in the world in tennis, right? So we look at, as tennis fans, we look and go, 70 in the world, that's good, but it's not like, she's not top 10 yet. But for a country with a lot of people that don't have a lot of world conquering athletes, it's great. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao for sure, but he's sort of like semi-retired, isn't he? There are a lot of athletes in the Philippines who are world champions. Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking, because I'm not sure. I'm learning like everybody else who's asking questions. So give us some answers. If you are from the Philippines, let us know what other champions, world champions currently world champions. Not like, I know Manny Pacquiao is Filipino, and but he's not currently the best boxer in the world, right? Pacquiao's now a senator? Oh, okay. All right, 30 love. Filipinos the best support you can get if you get their hearts. Oh, yeah. But also, like, if we take away where she's from, you look at her, like, okay, what's Eala's career been like? Well, she was a junior champion, right? US Open junior champion. She's, you take away the fact that she's from the Philippines. She's a junior Grand Slam champion, so she's obviously a really good junior player. She's 19 years old. If she wasn't from the Philippines and she went on that run, it would still be a very impressive run from a player who was a very good junior, right? So if you take away the fact that there's like 100 million people from the Philippines that are watching her, she's still it's still an interesting story to see a junior champion go on to try and become a WTA success story, right? I mean, we look at players. I'm not comparing her to some of these players, but if I look at the junior Grand Slam champions of the past, in the last couple of years, right? We talk about, Noskova. She won the French Open Juniors back in the day. Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, right? Leila Fernandez, Clara Towson, right? Even like Anisimova won a junior title, as a at the US Open, right? So again, not every junior becomes a success story in the main, but we always do make a little bit of a note going, okay, this person won a Grand Slam in juniors. So again, even if Eala wasn't from the Philippines, all those things, a junior Grand Slam champion going on a run like that in Miami is still massively impressive, right? Had it have been, somebody else like a Noskova or Andreeva obviously wasn't a champion in juniors, but she did make the final a couple of times. Obviously Fernandez making the US Open final run as a junior Grand Slam champion of the French, that was mentioned a lot. Towson, if she goes on a run and beats up a bunch of top 10 players, she's kind of already established now, but again, when a junior Grand Slam champion goes on a run, on the men or women's side, it's always, especially when they beat Madison Keys, who only lost to Sabalenka, and Towson, I think, recently. She then goes on to beat Swiatek, who we all know Iga Swiatek, one of the best players of the last 5 years. She then almost beats Pegula, who is a very tough player to beat in those kind of conditions, in those hot conditions. It was a great run. And then also, of course, beating Penko in the first place. All right, Deuce. First game. First game of the second is going to return now from Corley to the forehand of Volynets. Corley goes down the line. Oh, and it goes in. All right, Corley Rosca take the break. They've got the set as well. And then if you want to bring the Philippines back into it, Asia is such a massive market of the tennis has been slowly getting into, right? Because, before the 2000s, there was very little. The tournaments didn't really go to Asia that much. There was a couple of tournaments in Japan and stuff, but Asia was not really a tennis place, right? And then obviously over the 2000s, 2010s, you can name all the players. You've got Osaka, you've got Nishikori coming from Japan, you've got Li Na coming from China, you've got players from India. But India's always kind of been in tennis, so we're talking more, I guess, the east side of Asia rather than, because India's always been in tennis. There's all these and there's a lot of people in Asia. There's a lot of people in Asia. And now China's starting to become a bit of a powerhouse with Zhang at the top, and then all these other players from the men and women's side coming through as well. So China's starting to get in. Obviously, Japan's been around for a while as a strong, tennis nation. And now Eala's got the Philippines coming through. So it's like, okay, well, there's another nation there that through Asia that hasn't had success in tennis. And through Eala, and the good thing is, through Eala, could produce more players, right? Eala might be the first player, and then people in the Philippines might see her and go, I want to be like her, and then they're going to start playing tennis, and then we're going to start seeing more and more players pop up from the Philippines as tennis players, right? That's how these things could work, right? So that's why you're seeing so much about Eala, especially when it comes to Tennis Channel or WTA, because it's such a big market of people that have not watched tennis because there's not been somebody to represent from their country, right? As we return now to the forehand of Corley, and then Volynets standing at the net, but Eala hits a passing shot winner, 15-30. And the thing is, the only issue with and I'm not going to get political, but the only issue with, I guess, something like people coming from China is the fact that TV rights and stuff is a little bit weird, a little bit different over there, right? It's a little bit showing players playing on the world stage in China might be a little harder because the WTA, I don't know how the WTA TV works, if it works in China. I don't know what the rights are for that. You know what I'm saying? And I know I've been to China. And it was, you couldn't get on any social media. It's hard to, so all the things like all the Instagram posts that come out about Zhang and stuff like that, I don't know if it gets to China. Like, I don't know if people see that stuff, So I don't know how, like, it might be harder to do, I guess, to get people into tennis in China if they're not getting seeing the exposure that their players are getting on the world stage, right? Anyways, 2-love. Eala hits in there. But anyways, that's a little explanation into why. That's what I don't know. Maybe that's not the reason. Maybe I'm just making it up. Maybe I'm just shooting off the top of my head. But that seems to be why we're seeing all this. Not to mention, Eala's is a good player to watch. I mean, if you have watched her, actually really fun to watch. I feel sorry for Cam. You don't need to explain yourself. No, I'm not explaining myself. I'm breaking down why. I'm not even breaking down why. It's just breaking down the rise in popularity of Eala instantly. Like why? How did this happen? Like, where has she been? And how is all of a sudden Eala become one of the most popular players on the WTA with one tournament? Like that's what I'm trying to explain. Hopefully we're probably half wrong, but half right. All right, love 15. But chat, we love anyone who wants to get into tennis, doesn't matter who they follow. We love it. More people, more is better for tennis. As Volynets hits it, a smash in the net, love 30. And my job is, if you're coming in here to watch Eala, that's great. But then I'm going to try and get you to watch other people too. So then you become a tennis fan and not, that's what, it's not a cult. We're not converting anybody like a cult. It's not a thing it's not like that, but it's just, we're just fans. As we're a winner down the line from Corley, and it's love 40. Why are they losing? Who's making the faults? They're playing, look, Eala and Volynets are playing a real doubles team. This is a proper doubles team. So, yeah. That's why the result is happening. They're playing two players that play doubles all the time. Runa's on fire. Let's go. As we return now from Rosca's a winner. 3-love. 3-love to the American team. All right. By the way, chat, before Eala went on a run in Miami, I was planning to go to the Philippines. Don't think I'm going to the Philippines because of Eala. I want to go to the Philippines because I haven't been there. And I've been to all the other places. It just so happens that now they've got a really popular tennis player that, okay, I'll go to the Philippines as well. So then now you guys can tell me where to go in the Philippines. It was already on my list. Before Eala made the semifinals in Miami, I didn't plan my trip around Eala doing well. I've heard Cebu is the place. I've heard that is the place. One of the places. And Boracay as well. If Eala becomes top 10, sure there will be a Manila Open in the future. Yeah. Yeah. Chat. There's got to be a tournament in the Philippines eventually. Oh, it's starting to rain. Oh, no. It's starting to rain. It's starting to rain, but they're going to play anyway. It's really starting to rain. But they're going to play in the rain anyway because you can play on the rain and clay. As a Canadian Filipino, people throwing shade at Layla? Who's throwing shade at Layla? Anyways, return from Eala goes long, and it's 15-love. Cam, do you serve? You should go to Siargao in Philippines. I have surfed, yeah. Sorry, is it Cebu? My bad. As the return goes in from Volynets, forehand now to the backhand of Volynets. Backhand out from Rosca is a lob. Volynets with a forehand into the forehand of Corley, and then Corley volleys it away. Lovely hitting. And it's 30-love. It is raining out there, but they're playing on. You can play in the rain on clay, which is one of the benefits. Speaking of Manila Open, we need an Aussie clay 500. No European and South Americans would travel to it. Be an all Aussie final. Yeah, so that's why they wouldn't do it. Anyways, forehand goes into the forehand of the backhand of Eala. Volley from Corley is good. Eala gets it back though. As Rosca puts up a lob. And Eala wants to finish off her work. She comes in the net. Up goes another lob. And volley nets at the backhand. But no, she hits a volley this time. Now Corley with a pass in the net. That was Eala's point. Volley nets finished it, but that was Eala's point. 30-15. Yeah, look, they're not going to have a clay court event in Australia. Not a 500. No way. I wouldn't mind if they converted Rod Laver Arena to a clay court. Just for a Davis Cup. Maybe that'd be fun. Maybe they could do that. All right, return goes in the volley of Corley, but Eala gets it back. Slice from Rosca goes into the backhand of Volynets. Forehand out of the volley of Eala. Slice from Corley goes into the forehand of Volynets. Rosca gets it back. Eala off the tape goes in, and then Volynets hits a passing shot winner.
This is going to be on Tennis TV, bro.
That was a doubles rally. 30-all. 30-all. Chance to get one of these breaks back. It's going to be Manny Pacquiao impact here in the Philippines if Eala goes on to become one of the best in the world. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if she's already going to be on billboards and stuff anyway. You know? There's a backhand return from Eala, but it's a let. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. If I go to the Philippines by the end of the year, I'm sure I'm going to see Eala's face a lot. As it is served now, the forehand of Eala. Return goes into the forehand of... Nope, it goes out by Eala, apparently. And it's 40-30. But the thing with, like... Eala's game is actually really, really fun to watch too. Like, the way she plays... And hopefully she stays like this, because sometimes players that start like this, then, you know, they get to a certain point and then they start to play a little bit more defensive. But she plays so fearless. And she plays with that... What's the word? It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like reckless a little bit, but it's she just doesn't have that fear. And she'll go after shots that, you know, maybe she shouldn't, but she does, and they work, and it's great, and volley nets it to win it, deuce. It's real, like, it's just really fun to watch. She brings so much energy as well. You know, she just comes out here and, like, I mean, you can't beat those players without playing that way, right? You can't beat Keys and Swiatek without being ultra aggressive and fearless, right? You have to be fearless and play aggressive. Yeah, I hope she keeps that. You know, the higher she gets up the rankings, because then eventually she'll become the player that everyone wants to try and get the win over, right? So hopefully when she gets to that point, she'll be able to keep that fearlessness a little bit and at least keep that aggression. Anyways, deuce. To get one of these breaks back, volley nets hits the backhand, and that's too good. There's one of the breaks. We're back 3-1. Yeah, grit and determination, yeah. She's a bit reckless. I guess it's age, youth, and nothing to lose. Well, yeah, the nothing to lose is for sure. Attacking players are always a pleasure to watch, yeah. So it's going to be fun. I'm just trying to think of a player that's been like that recently. Can't think of many players that have... I mean, there's definitely players out there that do it. I mean, Raducanu is probably a good example of somebody who kind of, through that US Open run, was playing with that reckless, fearless, you know, nothing to lose attitude until the final, and then she won the whole thing, right? Yeah, Andreeva as well, back in the 2019, right? You know, that's sort of... They can hit down the line. They can go cross court. They can hit flat. She's also good defensively. You know, she can defend. And it's a fun game to watch because it's a little bit unpredictable. So when you're watching her play one of the big names, it's going to be a problem for them, right? And we saw that in Miami. It's a problem. You know, it's going to be a problem when she faces them again or faces different top 10 players. I mean, chat, who do you want to see Eala play next? Like, what do you want? Do you want to see? I want to kind of see her play Swiatek again. I want to see if Swiatek can what she can adjust. I think that'd be an interesting matchup again. But who do you want to see Eala play next? Out of the top dogs that are there. Like out of the top 10. Anyways, that goes wide by Corley. I keep wanting to say Cromley. I don't know why. Corley. Eala versus Andreeva. Ooh, that would be fun. That'd be fun. Sabalenka. Yeah, Sabalenka versus Eala would be fun too. That would be fun. Imagine that on a grass court. I feel like that'd be interesting. Maybe like a pre-Wimbledon event. Anyways, backhand goes the volley of Eala, and then Eala volleys it away. All right, 40-15. Yeah, I would love to see her have a rematch against Swiatek. I feel like that would be. I don't know, chat. I don't know if you're getting the same feelings as me, but it's like the first time. It's almost like the Eala Swiatek match was like a fight between like an MMA fight, and it was an upset, right? It was a knockout, and we're like, oh shit! Like it was like Nate Diaz coming in and beating Conor McGregor, right? Out of nowhere. We're like, oh shit, how'd that happen? And then they fought again, and it was really epic, right? I'm like, that's what I feel like that Swiatek-Eala match kind of had. It was kind of like this, she beat Keys, and we're like, oh, that was good. We know how, okay, yeah, but Swiatek's another level. And then she kind of came out and knocked out Swiatek out of like nowhere, and you know, Swiatek maybe was a little bit nervous or something, but maybe a little bit not ready for it. Wasn't expecting it, maybe thought, oh, no, I can deal with this. I'd love that rematch. I just feel like it just has that kind of vibe to me. That feeling of like the champion wasn't expecting this player to come along and just like, you know, show her what's up. And I'd love to get Swiatek to a rematch between them, with Swiatek maybe a little more prepared, better prepared, and to see how Eala can do it if she can do it again, right? I don't know, it just has that kind of like feeling to me. All right. Is there a chance that Swiatek and Eala could play the first round of Roland Garros? Yes, there is. Unless Eala goes on to win Madrid or Rome and gets into the top 30. If Eala's unseeded by Roland Garros, she could play in the first round against Swiatek. So yeah, that could happen. Same feeling for you? Yeah. Because like, I mean, Keys Eala rematch, okay, that's interesting. But the Swiatek rematch is the one, I think. I think that's the one. That's the one I want to see. I want to see Andreeva versus Eala, you know, maybe just for the fact, you know, two teenagers playing and young guns going at it. But I don't know. I just want to see that Eala rematch with Swiatek. You know what? How about this? Eala Swiatek grass rematch. What about that pre-Wimbledon rematch? Let's get it at Berlin or where, like what about at Wimbledon? I don't know. I feel like that'd be interesting. Swiatek's least favorite surface by results, at least not junior results, but by senior results. And then Eala's game on grass, I feel like it wouldn't be a bad thing. It could work pretty well. I don't know. Anyway, slice goes in from Corley. Then she comes in with the volley. Eala volleys it. And then Corley goes straight to the Eala again, and the Eala eventually hits in the net. 30 love. I don't know. I feel like that would be fun. The rematch, but it's on grass. It has to be Wimbledon, though, now, doesn't it? It has to be like a second round Wimbledon. Eala versus Swiatek. Second round Wimbledon. Can we get that, please? Can we please get that? Can we please get that? Center court Wimbledon? Come on now. Come on. 30 love. As the return goes into the volley of Rosca. 4 now from Corley goes over Volynets' head. And it was in. Good lob.
Unbelievable.
And it's 40 love. I wanted to be in the final. Yeah, I mean, look, it'd be great. It'd be a crazy final, but I want to see it early. I want to see it early in the Wimbledon tournament because, you know, Swiatek's Wimbledon results are her it's the toughest tournament for her so far in her career. It's her least successful Grand Slam so far. She hasn't been able to make it past the quarters yet. But Eala on grass, I feel like that could be a thing. Great passing shot for Volynets, 40-15. (40-15). As Corley serves. Out wide of the back end of Eala. Return goes long and Corley holds 4-2. But see, chat, this is what... It's the same as Fonseca. Like, Eala and Fonseca in 2025 have been... And I don't even know if tennis needed a breath of fresh air, but they are like... They're the players that we all want to see. And I know some people might say, well, I like Mensik, or I like Tien, or I like, Andreeva. But I feel like Eala and Fonseca just bring in this, like you just want to see them play everybody in the top 10. I want to see them play everybody in the top 10. I want to see what, obviously with Fonseca, I want to see him play Medvedev, right? I want to see him play, obviously, Alcaraz, right? We want to see Eala play, Mirra, right? And it's so exciting. It's so exciting to have, these young players that we're all wanting to see play against the big ones, right? It brings, again, it is maybe a breath of fresh air, but it's like, I don't know, it just brings like this excitement, because usually over the last few years, it's always been like, oh, well, I just want to see these two players in the top 10 play again. It's okay. But now the fact that we've got these younger players that are low ranked at this point, I want to see them take on the top 10. And they could play top 10 players in the first rounds of tournaments, right? So I love it. 15-0. Eala and Fonseca are new kids on the block, like Chris Evert and John McEnroe in the 80s. Yeah, they just bring like this. And look, and obviously their fan bases are so passionate too, right? Philippines and Brazil. Like, it's great that those places are getting represented on the global stage. So like that obviously brings another like energy, because there's a whole new group of people that want to watch these players play. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's such a buzz around these players, 30-15, is that goes the net from Rosca, 40-15. At least that's how I'm feeling. I'm excited to watch them evolve, right? And then grow over the next, the match between Rublev and Fonseca, that first round Australian Open match, that was one of the best the highlights of the tournament. And it was in like day 2. And it still was like one of the more memorable moments of the tournament, As with a forehand out to the forehand of Corley. Forehand now from Eala to the forehand of Corley. As Eala goes into the backhand volley of Rosca, and Rosca puts it away, 40-30. Obviously Tien beating Medvedev was huge too. And then Mensik beat Ruud, and nobody remembers. 40-30. Now to serve again. Into the backhand of Rosca. Rosca in the net. 4-3. Corley Rosca. They've got the break. And the set. But Eala and Volynets are sticking around. By the way, let me know in the chat where you're watching from. Where are we all watching from? I'm in Australia. It's 10 p.m. Down under. Where are you watching from? It was crazy that 3 teenagers beat 2 top 10 players in the opening rounds. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the Mensik win against against Ruud gets so overlooked because Fonseca was the main man. And then Tien beat Medvedev, and then we forgot about what happened with Mensik. But Mensik was a beast early too. We got Philippines in the house. We got Poland. We got Qatar, Australia. We got Philippines, Japan, Vancouver. We got Philippines. A lot of people from the Philippines. Love to see it. France in the house as well. We've got Berlin, Singapore, Malaysia. Nice. 4-3. Canada. Philippines. All right. 4-3 Corley Rosca. Philippines here in Hong Kong. Nice. All right, return from Eala goes the volley of Corley. Corley puts it away. 15 love. Apologize for Philippines fans watching in the venue in the future. Basketball is the popular sport here, and some of us don't know how to act in a tennis match. They think it's basketball. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. There's no gatekeeping. We're not going to gatekeep fan bases. If you want to react to it like it's a basketball match, that's totally fine. You'll hear it. you will hear that, like, you as a tennis fan, you've got to act a certain way. And that's true. Like, there's obviously respect, and, you don't want to, there's fans that get a little drunk and then they get a little crazy. But if you want to, the Brazilian fans, they go crazy for Fonseca. And I know some people don't like that, but I love that energy. If you bring that energy and it's respectful for both, then that's totally fine by me. 40 love, good volley there for Corley. Nothing wrong with bringing that energy. 40 love. I'm from Milan. Nice. Michigan. Yeah, Fonseca's playing Madrid. Eala and Fonseca are both playing Madrid. So we're going to be watching them in the first couple of rounds. So that goes in the net from Volynets, and it's 5-3, Corley and Rosca. Paolini versus Eala, round of 16 French. Kind of fire. I kind of love it. Can we make it a little earlier, though? Does it have to be round of 16? Paolini Eala. Actually, you know what? Can we get Paolini Eala in Rome? Second round? Just before the French? Because that crowd's going to be electric already because of Italians. But, I feel like that's a really interesting match. I like that match. That's a fun match. All right, 5-3 is going to volley from Eala. That's a winner, and it's 15 love. That's a good pickup. I like that. That's a good, yeah. I want to see how Eala does against Paolini, who's the fastest player on tour. That could be fire. And two very they both get fired up. That could be fun. By the way, if you are from the Philippines, what NBA team do you follow? Who's your team? Because I know the Philippines NBA basketball is the number one sport, right? I'm pretty sure. Who's your favorite NBA team if you're Philippines? Golden State? All right. Did they win today? 30 love. Sacramento. The Lakers. Love that. 30 love. Runer's about to win. Nice. Golden State, Lakers. All right. That goes out on the return from Corley, and it's 40 love. Golden State because of Steph. The Bulls, okay. LA all the way. The Thunder. All right. 40 love. So Golden State and Lakers are very popular. Well, Lakers are popular everywhere, right? But Golden State, that's interesting. So wait, so Philippines West Coast teams? Is that what I'm getting the vibe? The West Coast is where maybe because time zones? So you can watch more matches on the West Coast, maybe? Maybe they show more West Coast matches because of the times? No one seems to be going for anyone on the East. No Boston fans in the chat. Miami Heat, there we go. All right. Ah, 5-4. Corley Rosca are going to serve the match. Most Philippines that live in the USA are in California. Oh, okay, that makes sense too. That makes sense. Atlanta Hawks, who are originally from St. Louis. Yeah. There are probably 1 million Filipinos in LA. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. So there's a lot of Filipinos in California. That's why there's a lot of people like those teams. They have the same schedule as in Manila. Okay. Interesting. What do you think about Ovadi, who Alex's next opponent? I think it'll be a good matchup for Eala to get the first round, she beat a competent clay quarter, but this will be a step up from that, so that's good. It'll be a good test for Eala again. A more experienced clay quarter than her first round. So I think it'll be good. It'll be a good fun. We'll watch it tomorrow, and we'll see. It'll be a good experience. That's what this week's all about for Eala, is experience on clay, because she doesn't have the experience on clay yet. Anyways, 15 love. As Volynets goes to the forehand of Corley. Forehand from Volynets. Again, the forehand of Corley. And she puts up a lob, but it goes long. 15-all. So it'll be a good. It should be a good match. Or it should be a good. It should be a good test for Eala to see how her clay court game is starting to shape. You know. And to serve. Out wide the backhand of Eala. Return goes to forehand of Corley. Eala with a forehand into the forehand of Corley. Down the line to the backhand of Volynets. But Volynets hits it long. 30-15. 2 points away from the win. Bruna won. Yes. Let's go. 30-15. Corley serves again. 30-15. Thanks, Cam, for always supporting Eala and all the not-so-famous players yet. But yeah, I mean, no problem. As the return goes in from Volynets, the back into Corley. Volynets, oh no, Eala volleys it long. And it's match point to Corley and Rosca. And this might seem like a loss, but I'll tell you this, chat. If you are going for Eala, even though she might lose this doubles match, it gives her more time to focus on what matters, and that's winning the singles title. All right? Plus, she gets another match under her belt on clay. Again, this is all about practice, getting practice on clay. That's what this is about. Volley from Rosca is good, and the second volley is better. There it is. The number 4 seeds go through. They knock out the popular team of Eala and Volynets, the number 1-2 seeds in the singles. Both of them are going to play tomorrow in singles, so now they can focus solely on winning the title. They might even play each other in the final if they 1 and 2 seeds make the final. Could be Eala versus Volynets in the final, so we'll see what's up. GG's. GG's. But just too strong. The American doubles combo. But Eala and Volynets, they served pretty well. 95% of first serves in. I mean, that's a high first serve percentage, and we know that we have seen that Eala's serve does sometimes have a little bit of, is a bit vulnerable, but didn't seem like, I know there was a few breaks, but that's because sudden death points in doubles make it hard, make it a little harder to hold. But again, we'll see what happens and see if she can bring some of that. Again, more double success, or at least more doubles clay court tennis will help her in the singles. All right. By the way, if you are leaving, don't forget to sub on the way out. We've got Swiatek coming up in a couple of hours, so stay tuned for that. Shelton, by the way, is playing Van der Zandschulp right now. Also, Andreescu's just playing as well. Battle of the left-handed Filipino, Eala versus Fernandez. I tell you, I wouldn't mind seeing that match. I feel like that's it obviously wouldn't be. Well, I mean, it would be very popular for the Philippines to watch that match, but I don't know if it would be a huge, it'd be if it's a first round. I don't think many people would probably stop to watch, but that is an interesting matchup because there's been, and I made this comparison during Miami between Eala and Fernandez, and it did feel like Eala was kind of a more aggressive Fernandez, and not just because they're the Filipino connection, but also the fact that they're left-handed and they play a similar style. But just a more aggressive style coming from Eala. So that could be interesting. Maybe we might get that. We might get that in a couple of. Well, we might get that in Madrid, right? That could be a Madrid match. We probably watch Eala tomorrow. We just got to figure out what the schedule does tomorrow, because tomorrow we've got Alcaraz playing. Who else is playing tomorrow? Alcaraz is the big one. Because tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, so... Yeah, Alcaraz Jera is definitely on my radar as well. On the women's side, Coco Gauff's going to play tomorrow, so we might watch her. Andreeva Alexandrova's on my radar as well, so there's a couple of matches we've got to juggle, but that's all right. I'm a clown, so it's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, but I want to watch... I know a lot of you want to watch Eala, so you got to give the people what they want, chat. Do you think Alex can win in Portugal? Look, she can, but I don't think, for me anyway, I think it's more about getting matches. It's not about winning the title. Like, winning the title is great, but I think that for Eala, it's about getting used to the clay. And if she can make the semis or the final, that's a successful week for her, I think. I don't think she needs to win the title or it's a fail, right? But she can win the title. She's the best player in the tournament. She's the number one seed. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, most of the really tough players are down the bottom half of the draw as well. So Volynets is down the bottom. Castella withdrew, which helps because she's very dangerous. Cocciaretto's down the bottom. Zedenshek is down the bottom. So yeah, all the proven clay court, or at least proven top 100 players are down the bottom. You know, there are a couple in the top, but not as many. So she's got a pretty good draw on paper. Like, if this was on a hard court, you'd say she made the final. But the clay court tennis is obviously the difference. So she should be able to go far. I don't know why Castella withdrew, but she's had a lot of injuries lately, so I'm not sure. So many games scheduled for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be crazy. Happy Easter week in the Philippines. Hey, happy Easter to you too. We'll be celebrating Easter with streams because I'll be here. Cam, do you miss Rafa at Barcelona, specifically from his appearance last year? I just miss Rafa in general. I think everyone does, right? Eala needs the best strength condition coach. Well, she'll get there. I mean, she's already working within Rafa Academy. Is always going to be a good start, right? By the way, chat, we still got like 2.5 hours till Swiatek, so that's fun. So we at least filled in a couple of, like, an hour and a half. You might have explained it already, but why is Eala the number one seed in the tournament? I have, but that's a good question. I will tell you what the answer is. And actually, I'll show you the answer because this is a little bit easier to explain if I show you. So the difference between ranking and seeding is ranking is based on points from you against the rest of the world, right? So whoever's got the most points based on tournament wins and stuff is the number one in the world. But seedings are based on the tournament that you're playing. So if I show the top 8 seeds in this tournament, so Eala's ranking is 73. So she's the best player in the tournament. So her ranking is the highest ranking out of everybody in the whole tournament playing. That's what makes her number one. Number 2 seeds Volynets. She's got a ranking of 80. 89 for Cocciaretto, 91 for Bonder, and then it goes down and down, right? So the best player in the tournament by ranking is Eala. So that's why she's number one seed, because she's the highest ranked player. Now, she won't be the number one seed in Madrid, because that's Sabalenka, right? But in smaller tournaments, she'll probably be 73, probably gets her maybe a number 8 or 9, 7 or 8 seed in a smaller tournament. So that's why. So that's her world ranking, but she's the best world ranked player in the tournament, so she's the number one in the tournament. Does that make sense? It took me a while to get my head around this as well. So it's a little bit tricky, but yeah. If you see a number one next to the player's name and they're not the best, the world number one, it's because they're the best player in the tournament. So for example, over in, if we go look at Barcelona, Alcaraz is the number one seed, but he's the number 2 player. So he's the best player in the tournament. And then Casper Ruud's number 2 seed, but Alcaraz is not 1 and Ruud's not number 2 in the world, right? But that's because Ruud's the second best player in the rankings in that tournament, right? So, yeah, seeds are based on who's the best in the tournament. Rankings are based on who's best in the world. Hopefully that explains it. We can't tell Eala surely win. Castella, she's dangerous. Yeah, but Castella's out, so she withdrew. So don't have to worry about Castella. That's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure. No, that's all right. It's. I'm sure a lot of people had the same question. And that's okay. If you have a question, don't be shy. There's no dumb questions. A lot of people probably thinking about the same thing, and they just don't want to ask. So, because they had a leg injury, did she? Okay, fair enough. It's a fairly easy concept to grasp. It is eventually it is, but it does. It did take me a while to figure it out as well. To be like, why is this person 1, but they're actually 4? Like, what's going on? Wait, were they number 4 in the world, but they're number 1? Like, how does that work? It is confusing. But hopefully I can explain that way. Hopefully it made sense. Are people's rankings only when his or her tournament campaign is over or after the win? So, yeah, so the rankings update every week on a Monday. So, it's except for a Grand Slam where it happens after the tournament ends. And also the 2-week 1000s. So rankings update the Monday after the finals, usually on a Sunday, right? So they do it every Monday. That's why we do a video every Monday on the rankings, because that's when they update. They don't update during the tournament. Now, there are live rankings, but they're not official. Live rankings are just sort of a guide, and they are accurate, but they're an accurate guide to where someone's going to be. But you know, it's more for us to, during the week, go, oh, if Eala wins this tournament, she'll be 60 in the world. But she's not going to be 60 in the world tomorrow because the rankings, and she's not, if she loses tomorrow, she's not going to be number 60 anyway. So, yeah, it's just sort of, live rankings are a very good guide. But the rankings officially come out Monday, so if you're not ranked, wherever on the Monday, then it's not official. It only starts every Monday. They don't update every day. Because then it'll just be exhausting. for the people calculating the rankings, it'd be exhausting. I'd love to see a rematch with Volynets and Eala in the final. That'd be fun. Did Volynets and Eala lose on purpose? No, they lost to the number 4 seeds, so they lost to a decent doubles combo. What do I think of Eala's doubles performance today? Look, I don't think we need to judge her performance today because it wasn't about... She didn't come here to win the doubles. She came here to win the singles. So I don't think winning the doubles or losing this match, makes that big of a difference. Like, I don't think she's going to, again, it's all about just getting matches. Clay court tennis, even if it's in doubles. You know what I mean? So I don't think we need to judge her performance today. It was good. I mean, she served well. They just came up against a good doubles combo. And plus, when you lose a doubles match, sometimes it's not your fault. You might play well, but your partner's doesn't play well. Volynets played well as well, but again, they just played a better doubles team, like a competent doubles team. But it might be a blessing in disguise because both Volynets and Eala are trying to win the singles. So now that they don't have the doubles, they can put all their energy into the singles and try and win that. Whereas sometimes when players are playing both, you can be a lot too much tennis, right? And maybe it could be a bit of a distraction. So hopefully, now that they don't have to play doubles anymore, they can just focus on winning the singles. Thinks Zverev will beat Altmaier today? I think he will, but I think it'll be a tough match. I have a question. Do you know players that have won Grand Slams but have a weak serve? I mean, define weak serve. Like, what, I mean, double faults a lot, or gets broken a lot, or what do you? Well, you need to be a bit more specific. If you're referring to if you're asking me, can Eala win a Grand Slam without a good serve? I'll give you some names that have won Grand Slams that maybe their serve wasn't their best shot, right? Maybe their serve got broken a little bit too much, or a bit more than the average player, right? Because Sabalenka's coming in here and she's got a big serve and all that stuff. Look, Ash Barty did not have a massive serve. She had a very good, accurate serve, but she didn't have a massive serve, and she won 3 slams, right? So that's straight away a great indicator of somebody whose serve wasn't the biggest serve and wasn't like the dominant serve that a Sabalenka serve would be, but still was number 1 in the world for a long time and also won a bunch of slams. Who else is there? Let me go through the list. Somebody like, Iga Swiatek's serve is not a ace machine, but she makes up for it on the returns. She makes up for it, obviously, on the ground strokes. And she's got 5 slams. So, not a serve-dominant player. Justine Henin, she won a bunch of slams. I don't think her serve was monstrous. Who else was there? Let me check. Down. Davenport, big serve. You can say Kerber's serve wasn't really her biggest shot, and she won 3 slams. So the answer is yes. You can win there are Grand Slam champions that don't have a serve-dominant game that have won titles at the slam level. And, it's not all about... On the men's side, it's a different story. If you don't have a good serve, it's going to be very hard for you to become a Grand Slam champion. But on the women's side, there's more opportunity for returners and more opportunity for, the serve is not... if you don't have a good serving day, you don't always lose. It's not a do or die. Paolini doesn't have the biggest serve, made 2 Grand Slam finals last year, right? So yeah, Simona Halep wasn't an amazing server, beat Serena in a final of Wimbledon, right? So there's another good example. Wozniacki, right? I don't think her serve was her best weapon. Still won titles. Number 1 in the world, right? So yeah, so there's definitely opportunities for players that don't have big serves to go on and win slams. And what Eala does without, serving aside, her game with the aggressiveness and the being a lefty as well, that always helps. It's gonna give her. She's got a good chance of doing something like that. She's got a good chance of winning a slam. I don't know. I'm not going to put that on her and say she has to win one or not, but she's got a great opportunity to win a slam, even if her serve isn't as strong as some of the other players right now. Because the rest of her game is dangerous and could be a problem for a lot of players, as we saw in Miami. And she also won a US Open junior title, so that's some confidence with that, right? Something to consider. I know I dismissed junior titles with Swiatek winning Wimbledon, but it's still something to she might be able to get some confidence from the fact that she's won it in New York before. We'll find out hopefully this year when she plays the US Open. How many slams does Sabalenka got? She got 3. Van der Zandschulp and Shelton in a tiebreak first set. Also, Lemens won the first set against Andreescu. We're going to get out of here in a second, so last questions, and then we'll be back in a couple of hours to watch Swiatek versus Fett. Freire won the first set 7-5. Nice. Who has the slowest serve in the history of tennis? I don't know. I don't know that answer. I don't know the answer to that question. Are Corley and Rosca a seasoned doubles players? Also, is this the first time Eala and Volynets have teamed up for doubles? Yeah, so Eala and Volynets hadn't played doubles together before today. And Corley, Rosca, I wouldn't call them seasoned doubles players, but they are doubles. They're doubles specialists. So they specialize in playing doubles. Their singles, they don't really have any singles. Their doubles are better than the singles. So they're doubles specialists. I don't know if they're that seasoned. They haven't cracked the top 100 in doubles or anything like that. But in terms of a doubles combination, they won because they're a doubles team, right? Not two singles players teaming up for the first time to give it a chance, right? No, see you later, DJ. Who do you have winning Barcelona? My money's on Fils. It's got to be Alcaraz, right? Until further notice. But Fils could win. Fils Alcaraz rematch, please. Yes, please. No one's talking about Tsitsipas, but that's because Alcaraz is in the way. But Tsitsipas is there too, right? All right, chap. I'm going to send you over to Swiatek versus Fett, which is coming up in 2 hours' time. So we're going to watch Iga. We love watching Swiatek. We've watched every match Swiatek's played for the last 3 years, I think. Except for those couple that she played, the Billie Jean King couple one time. She played like the 500 in the world, and we missed that because we were busy. But we watch every other match she plays. But Volynets, Eala, they go down to the doubles, but they're going to take all their energy and put it into singles. And who knows, maybe at the end of the weekend, we might see them play each other in the final because they're on opposite sides of the draw. They're the 1 and number 2. They could play each other in the final. So we watch this space. Eala's coming up tomorrow, by the way. She'll play singles tomorrow in her second round. We'll keep an eye on that as well. But Corley and Rosca win the doubles. Swiatek coming up in a couple of hours.